Alright guys, how you guys doing, and welcome to my week 1 of my push vlog. I'm quite excited to show you what I've done for this week, because practically for my squats working sets, which is 5 sets of 3, 2, 3, 5, and deadlift 285 for 4 sets of 3, they are all my PRs. So I'm glad that I survived through it. So I may look a little bit tired today because I basically did my first boxing class ever in my life, and it nearly destroyed me. But without further ado, let's get straight into the business, which is my week 1. Alright. Okay, so day 1 is basically a top single and then 5 sets of 3, 2, 3, 5, and then this is my last warm-up, 220. On that day itself, obviously I felt pretty good after a long week of, just chilling and maintenance and stuff. So this week I'm all ready to push really hard. So 220 feels pretty okay, and I think I got a little bit complacent. I should have done one more warm-up before I head into my top single. So right after 220, this is 265 kg. So it's been a while since I touched this weight. So my best competition was 260 kg. So I would say that this is a new gym max, because in last year's Asian Champ I did attempted 270, but it was called for downward movement. Alright, so 260 moved pretty okay. I feel that I have a few kg in the tank, but yeah, so I'm just gonna do what the program tells me to do. And the main gist of the training is obviously the 5 sets of 3, 235, and this is one of the sets. So I believe this is the second set of my working set, and so far so good. Even though it felt a little bit hard towards the end, I feel that I have the ability to manage them with technically sound movement and technique. And next week I'm ready to push for 4 repetitions. So yeah, so moving on to my bench press. Nowadays I've been working a lot with single and then some working sets. So I find it really helpful for me, because I have to hit a certain intensity range before I feel that there's some sort of stimulation. So 165 moved pretty okay. I think bench is going quite well nowadays. I've been really getting my positioning right and feeling that tight sensation at the bottom just by working around with a few cues. And if you want to know what cues I'm using, be sure to check, DM me and ask me stuff on my Instagram, and I'll probably share with you some of my knowledge here. Alright, so moving on to day 2. So day 2, the highlights is definitely the deadlifts, but before we go into that, we'll just go into the bench press. 3 count pauses for 160. 3 count pauses is definitely a little bit harder to do, but it really helps me maintain a very good position at the bottom so that I can push more efficiently and in a more smoother manner. Alright, moving on to the back off sets. I think it's just very easy, very passive stuff. Just need to make sure I pay attention to all the repetitions that every time I do, so that I don't get complacent with it. The thing about bench is when it's light, right, when it's something like 145 or below, I start to be very complacent and then just anyhow do it. But I think this session I was really quite composed and make sure I focus in my bench press. That's the only way I think I can improve on my bench press, because that is actually what's lagging behind right now. So deadlift, this is 325 kg with a stiff bar. So I was really trying to get focus on the second day, which was Tuesday. Monday the squat really had an impact on me, so I felt a bit tired, but I managed to put it up at 235. Not that bad, and I felt that I could do better. So next week I'll try again and reattempt it better. Alright, so this is 285 for triples, and everything seems pretty okay and positioning, but I find that maybe I was trying to get myself too upright. That's why I felt a little bit hard towards the lockout. So we'll see. Maybe on the next session itself, I will try to recalibrate my positioning a bit so that I can get that ideal position. So guys, it's not really about getting super upright in your sumo deadlift. It's actually more about finding the more optimal torso angle so that your hips will be positioned in a much stronger position, and then your legs can fire throughout the whole motion of the repetition. So now squats. actually feeling okay. At first I feel that my lower back is a little bit strained. You know, my right lower back always acts up. I mean, if you are doing a sport, definitely you feel a bit. So sometimes if you experience that, come on, just work through training and then make sure you do all the drills and then you should be fine. Okay, so 175, heaviest bench of the week. Move pretty okay. It's a little bit slow. I'm not really satisfied with it. Still feel a bit down because I did not execute the 175 well, but I'm willing to try again next week. So, but the good thing about it is I felt that 157.5, it's a good weight for me to move right now, especially for working sets, which I did for 5 sets of 3. And everything felt okay. I did not struggle, I did not feel any repetitions at all. So all good. Next week I will stick to the same again at 157.5 for 5 sets of 3. Okay, last training of the day, you know, can't be bothered. I did not stack the weight nicely. Some people like to call it a cancerous weight racking, but I don't care. A weight is a weight. So this is my long pause, 155. Still looks pretty okay. I find that I'm getting much stronger in the bench press itself. I just need to build a lot more confidence for the higher intensity weight. Okay, so last few deadlifts for the day and for the week. I'm wearing JJ's new t-shirt and second print, so if you guys are interested, you have to wait because his pre-order is over. Alright, so that's it for my week 1. Everything is still going pretty well. I'm not sure whether if I can perform on week 2 day 1 for the bench press, especially because my upper body is freaking cooked right now, and my shoulders and my triceps are so sore. I barely can raise up my arm because of the boxing session that I had. But all in all, I'm glad that I survived week 1 as well as the boxing class. Obviously I thought it would destroy me and really kill me. I could not complete it, but all the cardio things that they have pushed us to do, I managed to survive and finish them all. So as a powerlifter, we would thought that we do not have, you know, cardiovascular and, you know, all that grit to fight on all this high repetition shit, but I managed to do so. So powerlifters are actually, I feel that powerlifters should also be a well-rounded athlete where they can take every hit that comes to us in life, especially. So that's it for week 1, and I see you next week.